and let us. This is the second time to go live. Hopefully, it works this time round.
Yeah. If not,
Let's
then
see.
watch us on
So,
YouTube.
yes, I mean, as if people, if it's not
Oh
working.
yeah, it got live. It got live. I got a message.
Yes,
Yay!
great, great, great. Woohoo!
Hmm.
Yes, finally. Thank you, LinkedIn gods. So we have finally managed to go live on LinkedIn. Yes, my banner has activated itself, and we
Yes.
are live. So yes, we are going to talk about learning languages. And by learning languages, I don't just mean the mother tongues, etc., etc. We're talking about languages we learn for passion and profession. So today with me, I have the founder of the Mandarin Story, a fascinating lady who makes language learning so much fun. And I hope to learn from enough. Tell us about yourself, Samridhi, and what you do and your love for languages.
Thank you so much, Biniti, for inviting me for this session today. I'm so excited because this is my first LinkedIn that I'm doing. And hi, everyone who is watching me for the first time. My name is Samridhi. I'm the founder and course instructor under the banner The Mandarin Story. If you want to know about my journey and why I learned Chinese, how I learned Chinese, and what do I do, you can visit my website, The Mandarin Story. I basically teach Mandarin in a very, very easy manner. And my courses are varied from like age 5 to age 70. And I teach to like corporates and to kids and to professionals and to hobbyists. Basically, anyone who ever wants to learn Mandarin and wants to learn a new foreign language in a different manner.
Mm, yes, there you go. Language learning isn't got some calm, peace, understanding mentor to hold your hand right there. So definitely,
Right.
without like delving in random chit chat, let's go directly to the point, which is
Mhm.
the secret to learning languages. In your opinion, what do you think the
Right.
secret to learning languages is?
In my case, I have found that secret to learning languages is only two things: consistency and patience.
Right.
Like, at least that's what you need with anything that you're learning for the first time. Because when you learn something for the first time, it can be really frustrating. But if you just show up every day by day, not maybe in the first month, but the second or third or fourth month, you'll start seeing the improvement, the small little improvements. So if I have to want to give you like a no BS answer, it has to be consistency and patience. But I would like to know your views. What do you think the secret sauce or the secret to learning languages is what?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that opinion in terms of and discipline because rely on motivation too much and language learning.
Yeah.
You at some point is going to go like this, like this, like
Down.
this.
Right.
So if you rely on motivation, it's like so. My experience, the secret is there. Simply practice for 15 minutes every day. Very small commitment,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
without feeling stupid or without feeling scared of making mistakes and all of that, just dive in just for 15 minutes. And in
Right.
those 15 minutes, don't do anything else. Don't surround yourself with a nest of books and apps. Don't like overwhelm yourself that there are 20,000 books and I can't even do 20 pages. And you feel stupid and scared, and
Right.
you're like, yeah, motivation has once again done this. So,
Right.
consistency, discipline, and small goals rather than big ones.
Hmm. Big goals. Right. 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 Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I feel like
So
that
somebody
there
is
is this
mentioning
application.
the voice is
Yeah.
very high. Apologize. Whose voice is high, Krishna? Is it mine or is it Samriddhi? It has to be mine.
No, I think you're okay.
Oh,
Maybe
but
like
yeah.
it depends on like person to person's I guess what do you call it system. Because for me, the voice is absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
I hope you don't feel like somebody is shouting in your ear.
No, not at all.
Okay, great, great. So,
Yeah. Do you have
what
any
what
examples where I
do
wanted to
you
actually ask? I'm so sorry. Our voice are overlapping. I was asking
please,
actually,
please?
have you have any experiences where you have learned a language just by devoting 15 minutes a day? Because the thing is, I have learned Mandarin, and I have learned
Japanese.
Mandarin as a very professional language where I have given like too much time. It has never been a 15-minute a day for me. I've studied like full fledged that language. But for you, that has it happened? Like you have given devoted 15 minutes a day to something and actually be able to produce the output?
I mean, I would say my Japanese language learning has been about 15 minutes only. I,
Okay.
however, disclaimer, I started in
Hmm.
2007 and I am still
Hmm.
not very good, as good as I'd want to be. But then
Hmm.
uh, I can read very well. I can do basic stuff with people, and I've been able to get jobs there. So I think the important things are being handled.
Oh,
However, if I were to
right.
go and live in Japan, I would have a lot of issues
Hmm.
where to probably repeat myself a lot for the native people
Hmm.
because they'd be like, what is she trying to say? The pronunciation, because my pitch accent is very bad because I am self-taught. And on account of this thing, the big mistake I made, IUEO, that is Japanese phonetic vowel sounds, I as
Yeah.
AEIOU. Okay, that was the biggest mistake I made. Rather than going
Oh,
IUEO, Kaki Kikeko, Sachichi, right?
the
I went
yeah.
with this stuff, and to undo that damage, that is what I'm working on right now with pitch
Hmm.
accent mentor. Help me. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Once you
15
do
minutes
that
a day
damage,
I basically
it's
began
good.
because, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, we have a lag, a little bit of lag. I was just saying, yeah, that's what I also feel. Ki, if there is a damage done in like very early stage, then it is very hard to like improve it. Because, for example, if right now people who has done level one in Mandarin comes to me with level two and level three, and most of the time their tones are not right or
Mm.
their characters are they're not really well versed with characters. I have a very hard time teaching them. So I generally work with students who have actually under taught with me, and if they have not, if they are new, then I give them videos and resources before joining my course ki you do work on this aspect and then join my course. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because I struggling with that right now because my immersion was happening in anime, man. And anime Japanese is very sundre. That is the politest way of putting it. Professional, it is not even polite in most instances. And because I was so young, I began. So also very impressionable.
Hmm.
So some of these things have set in place. Or I sometimes those modes. And to undo that is taking too long. Too long. And so that
Yeah,
is why
yeah.
I approached you. I want to learn in August, but I am approaching you now because I have to plan it. Because I have seen what
Right.
happens when you learn a language. You
Hmm.
have to fix the issue. And not that it is any, not that it is problematic. Persons are so understanding. The them that I'm saying, oh,
Hmm.
they're like, soka, soka. They know because they have so much experience with weebs who come and, use the stuff that they have
Yeah.
heard rather than the
Right,
stuff
right,
that they
right.
actually use. So,
Hmm.
I think the fact that people are polite and so kind works for you. If you don't have the finances or the resources, because when I was learning Japanese,
Right.
literally no scope of learning in at least my city. So what else could I do? I had to rely on video games and TV shows.
Right, and you're talking about back in 2007.
2007, exactly, we had those dial-up connections, matlab,
Right,
not even
right, right,
YouTubers.
right,
This is random
right.
people in chat rooms. So yeah, I have unconsciously done a lot of damage, but then that has been helpful because now I know what not to do. And that is where
Right.
this is why I made that graphic, right? So those of you who are listening to us, you can go to my website, that is vinidishade.com, and access these show notes. Because we are short on time, I'm not going through all the pointers in detail, but we will definitely do this again some other day
Yeah,
with 2 hours to spare and lots of blah blahs. So,
totally.
making mistakes is also the secret sauce to learning language. What do you think?
Of course, making mistakes is the most important thing that you have to do. Like a lot of, I personally feel a lot of my students are so afraid to make mistakes, and I'm like, make mistakes so that I can correct you. I want that platform where you make mistakes because only if you make mistakes, then only know where you're wrong. And I also feel that learning a language is a different thing, but applying the language is a very different thing. So one of the very peculiar thing that I try to imbibe in my courses is that I try to include, let's say you have learned all the
Hmm.
vocabulary and grammar, which is all you required for a certain level. But after that, how do you apply that vocabulary? You're never given that material. So I literally find from different books, different websites, different YouTube channels, and I gather translation material, listening material, reading material, speaking material, and at even at level one, my students translate stories from English to Chinese because that's how, when you do translation, you make mistakes of
Wow.
seeing, oh, where's the grammar going to be or not, and then you learn out of that. Same with the speaking, like you give them a picture composition and just make like 5 lines out of that whole picture,
Hmm.
you'll get to see that how much they are able to speak on the spot. And then there is a game that I really love to play. It's called Taboo, where there is a word, right? Like for example, now you have to introduce apple but without using the word apple. Like it's a fruit, it's red in color, and
Yeah.
a doctor says it's really good to eat. So very very small simple sentences, you can explain the word. So that's how you start working with your own mind, because it is so not good to rely on the books to learn any language. You need to use your own mind to frame sentences. So to have, so right now I feel a lot of times we lack that environment where we can make mistakes, because when you're consuming and learning, there is no space
Yeah.
to make mistakes. So I to literally create that 10 hours of space to just make mistakes so that you learn. So I totally agree with that part, that making mistakes is
Yeah.
very very important.
Yeah. So I always say this because I had such big issue because I did everything on my own
Mm-hmm.
by like, free resources and advice of strangers, so to speak, who didn't really know me, but they were like, oh, it's trying to learn, let's help it. So because of the mistakes I made with regards to learning other languages. And
Hmm.
Kunal Chadda has a great point here, which is building a strong
Yeah.
foundation in the early days is the most important thing. Exactly. So, because of the mistakes made in the past, I can be like, oh, moving forward, this is what I have to do.
Hmm.
Recognizing the frictions in your learning process, super
Hmm.
important. The moment you do that, you can efficient and reduce that friction. That's it. Simple, simple. So, making mistakes and coming to that thing that you said, there's a great app. And while I did post about it, not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people saw it. Called Hi Local, HILOKL. And Local is like a clubhouse, but it's for learning languages only. So,
Oh
people
wow.
there,
Okay.
yeah, it's fascinating. People there join like these language specific rooms, and rooms have
Mm-hmm.
they mention in the name of the room that there are two native speakers in the room, completely practice rooms. Like people are so transparent. that everyone is making mistakes here and there's no teacher, or there are two teachers, or there is one teacher if you want some critical advice, or
Right.
there's this one room that I join where we literally we are enunciating, like seashells on the seashore, but in Japanese because problems. So it's fascinating, and this resource is entirely free. So if
Hmm.
anyone in the audience wants to practice speaking something, like especially that game thing
Yeah.
that you told,
Taboo.
I have read in language transfer, but I didn't really practice it ever. But I'm going to try now. That's a great idea. Instead of I try to have the same conversation by looking in a mirror, like I will talk to
Mm-hmm.
myself. That's what I do. This is a
Hmm.
great idea. Like describe an AirPod. Saying the word AirPod. Done.
Right.
How do I explain it?
Like it's
That will
something that
show
we
how.
wear in the ear. So yeah, like you have to say like the wear and the word for ear, and the Apple company
And
has
not just
it. So
that,
very
I
small
think,
small things.
and I think what you said, no, forming logical frameworks. So Tare Zameen Pe
Hmm.
does a great job in explaining it. Dyslexia does to people, right? With the Apple example.
Right.
I think
Hmm. Hmm.
same
Hmm.
because most of us are used to thinking in our native languages. And even when we learn new languages, we kind of get translating phase. However,
Hmm.
if we do something like this, instead of using the word, I explain the concept.
Right.
So I will be forced to think in my target language rather than the language that I'm currently thinking. So I
Thinking.
really loved that idea. Thank you so much for this tip. Instead of
Yeah.
using
You're
actual
welcome.
vocabulary, know the vocabulary and describe
Hmm.
in your target vocabulary.
Hmm. Right.
Love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Also, I
So,
think one of your
how do
one
you
of
do
the
your notes?
somebody has a question
No,
regarding
no,
like
go ahead,
for a
please.
beginner.
Okay.
Yeah, does he need like for a beginner, does he need to learn a language from vocabulary, or one can learn directly through speaking? I would say like if you learn directly through speaking, your base will always be weak. Like you can speak as much as you have listened something, but
Hmm.
if you have a base where you have learned the, let's say, vowels, consonant, how a particular sound is being spoken, and then build your vocabulary and then do speaking, so the growth initially is going to be very slow, but as you grow, it's going to be much faster. Similarly, if you just directly start through speaking, it might be for the first 1 month, whoop, but with the second month, third month, fourth month, the more diversified like conversation you want to do, you can't do it. You'll be very limited to like speaking limited phrases, limited things, which we call it survival speaking. So if you directly start through speaking, it's
Right.
always going to be survival. But if you want to do it full fledged from the base, do it from pronunciation, then the vocabulary, then the speaking. What do you think? Do you have any different
Agreed.
opinions on this, Binati?
See, I have proof. That's exactly what I have written as well. The most
Good.
relevant, like you have to focus on the most relevant facts first, right? If you learn just for the heck of it, going to make the mistake that I did, right? Which is I just immersed.
Hmm.
I spoke what I heard rather than learning
Hmm.
properly. So from that, I have realized that you have to have a relevant base. And for that, first thing is alphabet. There's a reason why we were taught A, B, C, D, E, Kakaki first in school. It's not because they were trying to be mean. It's just they are trying to the phonetics of it all,
Hmm.
the structure of it all, the basic structure of it all. So start with the
Hmm.
alphabet, then move to, in my opinion, the grammar glue. So very basic statement. Just say for English, it is subject, object. That's
Word
it, right?
object.
So every English sentence explained like that. You have a person who's doing something. and then you have a person or a thing or place that the something is happening to, right? So
Hmm.
subject, verb, object. Similarly, Japanese has X,
Right.
why this. Every sentence can be broken down, that format. So
Hmm. Hmm.
figure out that basic language glue and then gent the vocabulary and
Hmm.
put something like put X and Y every single day and talk to yourself in the mirror. That's what I do. Now I would talk to somebody on high local, but when I was learning back in the day, I used to talk to the mirror. So yeah.
Right. I have actually been using Clubhouse a lot, but I didn't know this. There is like a specific dedicated app for this thing now. I am definitely going to check out, use it, let you know, and then also recommend it to my students as well. Because this is one thing I feel like they really need to, like, I think when you are learning any kind of
Mm.
language, the start should be with a non-native speaker so that they can make you feel relatable to your own mother tongue. But as you grow, level 1, level 2, level 3, uh, like apart from learning from your non-native teacher, you need to converse with more native speakers to gain that confidence. So I'm definitely going to check out that app.
Oh yeah, I heard about that app from Lindy Bote's Lindy Boat's YouTube channel. Like he's a great polyglot, and I really
Of
like
course,
content because
she's,
it's
I
very
think,
inspirational.
yeah.
Yeah, she's
She
so
is one
like
of the
oh my
very
God, she's
early
so sweet.
polyglots. Yeah.
Yes, and because she's like I get a very comforting feeling from her. So I was like, let me try it. She has recommended it. How bad can it be? And I've been hooked. It's great. It's exactly like Clubhouse. I mean, intellectual property point of view, Clubhouse should probably it's so good for language learning. Also,
Yeah.
I don't know about all languages, but subreddits, like the Japanese subreddit, it's so
Hmm.
detailed. Like the basic introductory post that they have, the resources that they have arranged. Like they do it
But it's so addictive as well.
from yeah, and you can post any question, and somebody other will probably have an answer for you that is going to redirect you to a solution, if not give you the solution. So yeah, ask
Yeah.
other tip is instead of doing it on your own, find somebody. If you don't have the resources to pay somebody to help you at the point in time,
Hmm.
you can at least rely on the good faith of strangers. That's how it worked for me. I was in school
Right.
and somebody playing a video game wanted to learn Hindi. I was like, I know Hindi.
Hmm.
He's like, teach me Hindi, I'll teach you Japanese. And we were both, this is how we did. We both relied on good faith from both
Good
directions.
faith. Yeah.
So, yeah, worth a shot. If you don't ask for help, it's not going to come in front of you like this. So you have
Definitely. I
to.
agree.
And Seiichiro-san
Yeah.
has a great comment there, which I agree with
Hmm.
wholeheartedly, which is
Hmm.
curiosity and interest to the culture and the human beings is incredibly important.
Important.
Totally. Because if you're learning languages for the wrong intentions, you are
Yeah.
going to hit that motivational barrier very quickly.
No, totally. Like culture is so important. I think initially when I started learning Mandarin, it was purely out of like that the how much package I'm gonna get, because like in 2013 when I logically saw, okay, which language is in high demand, where is going to be the most money, it was Mandarin everywhere, like second highest economy, one of the most difficult language, one of the most spoken language. But I think my ideology about Chinese language changed when I went to China and I got to know the people and culture. I am like, I was floored and
Mm.
I just got obsessed with that whole thing, like the whole way China has made themselves, like where are they coming from? Like look at their 5,000-year-old history, what they were at 1980 and what they have done to themselves and like to the whole economy, and their culture is such so rooted till now, like and everything like fascinated me so much, and especially the culture, which like made me obsessed that I'm gonna like master this language. So it was not about the money anymore. After that, it was more about passion, obsession, that I have to do this. Oh, uh, I'm not sure Vinati is there. Vinati, are you there? Okay. And if you guys have any, I can see there are 12 people right now watching me. If you guys have any questions, anything that you want to say or ask around languages, around learning Mandarin, you can do that as well. I would be happy to answer you.
The LinkedIn. You can you hear me?
Sorry? I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you at all. I don't know why.
Oh.
Uh,
Uh, oh, Helen has such a beautiful comment that she says a language learning needs a kind of wiring in brain. Sorry. I found this out recently when learning language, and my friend said I'm wasting my time. For me, I learned Japanese and wanted to learn Chinese as I was already loving the Chinese characters and wanted to learn them. Yeah, definitely it needs a kind of wiring, because there are always people who wants to put us down, who wants to like question your choices, why you're doing this or that. They
I can't
oh you
hear you.
I think Vinity can't. Oh, you can't hear me. Does everybody else can hear me? I it the problem is from hello.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all. Like you will have to, I think, leave and rejoin because your audio has become such a slow for me that I'm not being able to
Okay,
hear you. So sorry. I don't know what today.
no problem.
See, this is an issue that is only happening on LinkedIn. On YouTube, the stream is completely steady, but for on LinkedIn, I don't know what's happening. So I guess you'll have to shift going live thingy from yeah. Anywho, I not believe like drama that I go through sometimes. Gosh,
Hello, can you hear me now? I am singing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello. Uh, hello, hello. Oh, now I can't hear you. Hello. Damn it. I need to maybe leave. Maybe Hi, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Mm.
I checked my internet, guys. My internet is 33 Mbps. It's not the internet. I don't know where Samriddhi is, but yeah, definitely some issue for sure. Uh, can you come back on, Samriddhi, if you're listening to this? I can't see you in the studio. It's so weird. But yeah, while she comes back, I'll put her website here. You can check her lovely Instagram, and you should check her lovely website and definitely subscribe content. She posts really relatable, I could say, relatable would be the wrong word, easy to understand uh, language learning techniques, especially pertaining to Mandarin. Like, I don't have Mandarin experience right now, but yeah, if I were to learn, that's how I'd prefer to learn it. So, yes, definitely check out these profiles. She's linked. Are you there, Samriddhi? Can you come back so we can at least give you a proper send off? Mm-mm. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up for now because yeah, there's no response. Mm, okay, obviously we're gonna do the language learning thing again. I might as well go live on YouTube later on alone without Samriddhi on the topic, but because she has some professional commitments today. So yeah, thank you for those of you who joined this completely glitchy business, and you will be hearing from us stuff regarding new shit. I think we should probably do LinkedIn audio rather than LinkedIn video because LinkedIn audio doesn't, while it's not recorded, but Yeah, the glitches are full, at least in my experience. So yeah, thank you so much for coming in. Don't forget to visit Samridhi's website, themandarinstory.com. Also, give my website a look see. I have finally added the show notes session where all the notes, all the notes from my lives and from my articles and like, all the work that goes into creating something. So stuff like this, you'll be able to see rough notes. How did this turn into this, etc., etc. So yeah, if this kind of things interest you, give site look see as well. Do not forget to check out Samridhi's website. And bye.